राम राम हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे,
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, जय गिरिवरधारी,
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी, जय गोपी जन गिरिवरधारी,
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, गिरिवरधारी,
जय राधा माधव जय कुंज विहारी, जय गोपी जन वल्लभा, जय गिरिवरधारी,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे,
हरे कृष्णा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Vihari, Jaya Gopi Janvallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari.
Jai Radha Madhava, Jayo Kunja Vihari, Jayo Gopi Janvallabha, Girivaradhari.
Jaya Radha Madhava.
Hare Krishna. So, very warm welcome to all of you for today's session on the Srimad Bhagavatam. We'll start our session with the prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naran Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayeet. नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवति उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. So we discussed in our previous session, Bhagwan Kapil, he talks about the concept of, in fact, since last few sessions we have been discussing about the bodily concept of life and spiritual concept of life. Material knowledge facilitates bodily concept of life, and under the influence of bodily concept of life we come under the influence of false ego, and that continues our material existence. Whereas spiritual knowledge or divine knowledge, how to receive divine knowledge we discussed in the previous session. So this divine knowledge, it facilitates real ego, and it facilitates real ego, and it leads us to spiritual concept of life. So in the previous session we discussed a very important shloka, and the word which we used, if you remember, you can see here in this shloka, the word which we used was sad abhasena satyadrik. Sad abhasena satyadrik. Sad abhasena means that abhas means to realize or to perceive. So sad abhasena. So that perception of sat, sat means Krishna, and satyadrik. And we discussed that when a person rises above false ego, when he comes to the platform of his real ego means when he knows that he is a pure devotee of Krishna. That is the meaning of real ego. Real ego means pure devotee of Krishna, who is 100% engaged in loving devotional service to Krishna. That is the meaning of real ego. So, this person, we discussed about an example also, yes, in the previous session, that a person in false ego and a person in real ego, how they behave differently. So, sad abhasena satyadrik. So when a person is under the influence of real ego, he'll be able to see satyadrik. He'll be able to see the reality. Satya means the truth, and drik means to see. So he'll be able to see the truth. So that perception of truth, that seeing of the truth, that realization of absolute truth, supreme absolute truth is only possible so only when a person is a pure devotee of Krishna, he'll be able to realize these two words, Sadabhasena and Satyadrik. Satyadrik is very important. Satyadrik means to see the world as it is, to see the world in truth. What this world means, what is the purpose of this creation. Why Krishna has created this existence? Why are there miseries in this material existence? These questions. So the answer to all these questions, in reality, he'll be able to see the truth of all these questions. He'll be able to see the truth, the absolute truth, the supreme absolute truth in front of him. When When a person is influenced by real ego. And if you remember, we discussed two shlokas in the Bhagavad Gita which tell us what is that platform of real ego. What is that platform of real ego? What is uh, in the Srimad Bhagavatam? This platform of real ego is defined as the platform where you'll be able to see or perceive the truth of this existence, the truth of this world. If a person is not on the platform of real ego, then he is on the platform of false ego. So false ego means false identity, so false vision. Real vision is only possible when we are on truly spiritual platform or real ego platform. So continuing from what, because previous shloka is very important, because two words which are used in the previous shloka, they form the basis of the discussion which will be continuing from the next shloka, from today's shloka. So today we'll begin our discussion with text 14, shloka number 14 of the 27th chapter of the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. भूत सूक्ष्मेन्द्रिय मनो बुद्ध्यादिष्विह निद्रया लीनेष्वसति यस्तत्र विनिद्रो निरहङ्क्रियः. भूत सूक्ष्मेन्द्रिय मनो बुद्ध्यादिष्विह निद्रया लीनेष्वसति यत्तत्र विनिद्रो निरहङ्क्रियः. Translation: although he appears to be merged in the five material elements, the objects of material enjoyment, the material senses and material mind and intelligence, a devotee is understood to be awake and to be freed from the false ego. You see? So, this is the platform of real ego. So, what is Bhagavan Kapil saying here in this shloka? Bhut Sukshma Indriya Man Buddhi Adishu. So, these are all the different elements of the creation, including the senses, the five elements of creation, all these, these 24 elements which we discussed in the earlier parts of this discussion. The 24 elements of creation. So, Bhut Adishu Iha Nidraya. So, these 24 elements of creation, Iha Nidraya Lineshu Asati. Iha Nidraya. Nidraya means sleep. So Bhuta Sukshmendriya Mano Buddhi Adeshva Iha Nidraya. Iha Nidraya means the example is given of sleep. Many times we have discussed this example also. So today also we'll discuss this example of sleep. Why, when we are under the influence of false ego, it is considered to be a state of slumber, a state of sleep for the spirit soul. Why it is the example is given of a person in sleeping state. So line shvasati yas tatra. So it is mentioned here that when a person is in deep sleep or when a person is sleeping, he forgets everything and he gets absorbed in asati. Asati means asat. Asat means body. Body, or you can say uh, the the you can say the paraphernalia or the entourage which are present in the dream, isn't it? So Vinidro Nirahankriya. And then the second part of the shloka says that a person who is not in dreaming state or not in sleeping state, such a person is freed from false ego. Or such a person is a representative of, you see, these are very important concepts which we need to discuss. This Sankhya philosophy is very deep philosophy. And this Sankhya philosophy is given by our the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagwan Kapil. It's as good as any other word spoken by Krishna. In one sense, there is no difference between Sankhya philosophy and Bhagavad Gita, the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Although Sankhya philosophy is given for little more advanced people. Because Bhagavatam means person who reads Bhagavatam or person who understands Srimad Bhagavat Puran. So the principles are the same, but Sankhya philosophy in the Bhagavatam, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, is given to more advanced devotees. Anyone who is discussing Bhagavatam or hearing Bhagavatam or trying to understand Bhagavatam, it is natural conclusion that a person who is studying Bhagavatam or reading or relishing Bhagavatam, he must have completed the Bhagavad Gita. So, the philosophy of Bhagavatam, if you remember in the initial shlokas of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that Parmo Nirmat Saranam Satam. Parmo Nirmat Saranam Satam. Srimad Bhagavatam, or the philosophy of Srimad Bhagavatam, is for Paramo. Paramo means Paramahansas. The Srimad Bhagavatam cannot be, I mean, anyone who studies or who is trying to understand Srimad Bhagavatam, they must be very exalted devotees. They must be devotees of Krishna. They must have understanding of Bhagavad Gita. So it is taken into consideration. And that is why the Sankhya philosophy which we see here by Bhagwan Kapil, it seems to be little more advanced. And that is why we go deep into it. Right? Now, philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is also very advanced. But philosophy of Bhagavad Gita brings us to the platform of bhakti, where we engage in loving devotional service to Krishna. So Bhagavatam is for devotees. Bhagavad Gita is to make a person a pure devotee of Krishna. So when a person becomes a pure devotee of Krishna, he relishes Srimad Bhagavatam. So that is why it may look like philosophy is different or things are a bit different, but no. Whatever is mentioned, it may look like little more uh, advanced, but both are same. There is no difference. So the philosophy of Sankhya, which is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, and the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. So why I wanted to tell all this to you, all of you, because some of you might be thinking that we are going very deep into this philosophy of Sankhya. But why we are going deep? Because these are words of Bhagwan Kapil. All over Srimad Bhagavatam, devotees are speaking. They are all glorifying Krishna. But these words which we are hearing, they are spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagwan Kapil. Bhagwan Kapil has descended to give the philosophy of Sankhya. So we need to understand it in depth. We need to go deep. We need to understand what is false ego, what is real ego, what is ego, how ego gets influenced by the three modes. All these things we need to understand. Once we understand, then we start acting on that platform. Right? So coming back to the shloka. So in the till the previous shloka, what did Bhagwan Kapil say? So Bhagwan Kapil spoke about uh, a person who is having false ego. What happens to him? He will get influenced by material things because false ego, because he is falsely identifying himself with matter. So till the previous shloka, Bhagwan Kapil has spoken about the false ego and real ego. And in the previous shloka, we discussed real ego means what? Real ego means to come to our original identity, who we are, who am I? That is called real ego. Who am I? I'm a, I'm a spirit soul. I'm a part and parcel of Krishna. I'm eternal lover and servant of Krishna. That is my eternal position. Okay, that is our eternal position. So who will know his eternal position? Once we know our eternal position, who will we become? We'll become pure devotees of Krishna, isn't it? That means what? Coming to the platform of real ego means to become a pure devotee of Krishna. Or it may be otherwise, other way around also. That when you become a pure devotee of Krishna, right? So, so now That's why I covered in the beginning, I covered the previous shloka. Satyadrik and Sad Abhasa. These two words I covered. Why? Satyadrik means true vision. A person who can see this world in truth. He can find the truth. He can see truth everywhere. Now, truth means what? Krishna, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Param Satyam, he is the supreme absolute truth. So, a person who is Satyadrik, and before that, what is mentioned? Sad Abhasa. Sat means Krishna. So, to have perception of Krishna and then to be able to Satyadrik, to be able to constantly engage in loving devotional service to Krishna. That is the platform of real ego. So that's what here now in this shloka, it's an extension of the previous shloka. So that is why here now Bhagavan Kapil is saying, but a person who is bhuta sukshma indriya mano buddhi adishva iha nidraya. So Bhagavan Kapil is saying here that bhuta sukshma indriya mano. So nidraya, you see the second part of this, the first part of this shloka, nidraya word comes. So nidraya means deep sleep. So when a person is in deep sleep, what happens? He is engaged in these 24 elements of creation. That means he is so nidraya. A person who is a pure devotee of Krishna, just like in a dream state, when a person is sleeping, how sometimes in a dream he may deal with different aspects of the dream, isn't it? But lineshu asati yastatra. So a person, even a self-realized soul, he also sleeps sometimes, isn't it? So while sleeping, because it's a very beautiful example given here by Bhagwan Kapil. So while sleeping, a person forgets himself. So when a person forgets himself, what will happen? False ego. Absence of real ego is called false ego, isn't it? Just like absence of light is called darkness. Absence of knowledge is called ignorance. Similarly, absence of light is called darkness, or absence of real ego is called false ego. So the word lineshu is used here. So it is mentioned that a person who is a pure devotee of Krishna, sometimes it may look like he is also merged, or he is also playing with us, he is sleeping with us, he is eating with us. Lineshu asati. He may be absorbed in some asati. Asati means some material work also. But although he may be engaged in all kinds of work, but still he is vinidro nirahankriya. Still, there is no aspect of false ego in him. That means he is not acting on that platform. He may sometimes materially get engaged in those activities, but he is working on a superficial platform. It's not real platform. Superficially, a person may act differently. In fact, you might remember um, in one of our sessions, we discussed also that there are three categories of devotees or three levels of devotees. The lowest class of devotees are called Kanishtha. Kanisht means so Kanishtha means a person who is lowest amongst Vaishnavas. He just considers so Kanishtas are the lowest platform of devotees or the lowest category of devotees who know that Krishna is supreme, but that is it. They have no higher understanding of bhakti. Then second or higher than Kanishta Madhyamadikari. So Madhyamadikari, who are Madhyamadikaris? Madhyamadikaris are those devotees who not only know that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but they also are able to value and understand the importance of associating with pure devotees. So that understanding belongs to Madhyamadikaris. And higher than Madhyamadikari, they are called Mahabhagavat or Paramhansa Sannyasis, or the highest category of devotees. They are called Mahabhagavat or Paramhans. So now generally, because Krishna has a mission in this material world, and the mission is to preach the glories of Krishna so that dharma can be established. Dharma can be established only when Krishna is established, because dharmam to sakshat bhagavat pranitam. So until unless we establish Krishna, how can there be dharma? Okay, so Uttamadhikari or Mahabhagavat or the highest category of devotees, they are very, very advanced. For them, they cannot discriminate between living entities. And that is why they never enter into the realm of preaching. Preaching the glories of Krishna is generally conducted by the glories of Krishna can be preached only by, generally, it is preached by those who are Madhyamadikaris. And of course, Madhyamadikaris can preach, but those who are very exalted in their position, those who are Uttamadikari or Mahabhagavat, they demote themselves. They try to bring themselves artificially on the platform of Madhyamadikari. So those who are Uttamadikari, those who are highest grade of devotees, they generally bring them down to the platform of Madhyamadikari to preach the glories of Krishna. So why I gave this example? So when a Mahabhagavat or when a pure devotee of Krishna, he engages in preaching work. Preaching means he glorifies Krishna. For preaching, there are so many things. He constructs temples for Krishna. He constructs ashrams, temples. He also may have to deal with materialistic people many times. So when he is dealing with materialistic people, if he is Uttamadi, if he is keeping himself on the platform of Uttamadhikari or Mahabhagavat, he cannot deal uh, subject matters which are related to material world, isn't it? He will not be able to talk to them materially. So that is why those who are pure devotees, those who are Mahabhagavata, they bring themselves down to the platform of Madhyamadhikari at least. So why I gave this example is the same thing happens with pure devotees of Krishna. That's what is mentioned here. Vinidro nirahankriya. That a pure devotee of Krishna, it may look that he is engaged in material work. He is also dealing with money. He is also dealing with materialistic people. Sometimes he may have to, but still he will always remain worshipful. He will always be worshipable by the whole world, although he may be engaged in all kinds of material work. But all these material work is for what? For Krishna, for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay. So even though he may be engaged in material work, but still he is eternal servitor of Krishna. Why? Because all these material work he is engaged in are meant to ultimately give pleasure to Krishna. Because generally pure devotees, they engage in what kind of work? Either they'll engage in preaching. Apart from that, they'll engage in preaching the glories of Krishna. Right. So that's what is mentioned here. That a person who is on the platform of real ego means pure devotee of Krishna. So he may sometimes have to act materially to protect himself from, he may have to act sometimes materially to for the pleasure of Krishna, for expanding the mission of Krishna. But he is not affected by all these things. Why? Because Tejasam Nadoshaya. Those who are powerful Vaishnavas, those who are exalted devotees, they do not get affected by tiny, or they do not get affected by the external energy of Krishna. Why? Because they have come to the platform of real ego eternally. So this is what is the sum and substance of this shloka, and there are some more explanations about uh, these topics which we are discussing, which will be covering in the upcoming sessions. So those who are new to the channel can subscribe. All of you can like, comment, share. We'll stop here. We'll continue our discussion in the next session. Hare Krishna.